Hello, hello. Hey, guys. Okay, there it goes. What is up? Sorry we're late, you fool. Getting dinner done.
That is already going downstairs.
Thank you guys for joining us for our live. Hello. Hey, Reach and Reverie. Christina, what's up? Sorry, our kids are finishing up their dinner. Hey, Two Family Homestead. What is up? Hello, hello. So we go live. Well, lately it's been a little after 7, but around 7 Central Time on Sunday evenings. Hey, it's Good Life. What?
Around 7 Central?
Hey, Be Oily. Huh?
It's as good as it's going to get.
Yeah. I've not been well this weekend, but I'm on the mend. So, what is up? Hey, North Star Prepsteader. It has not snowed here, and I had a snowflake on my forecast, and now I have no snowflake on my forecast, which is a total bummer. So I don't know if we're going to get any snow. I really wanted to get just socked in for a couple of days, but it's not looking hopeful. Oh, gosh. So what is going on with everybody? North Star Prep Setter said, how's the drama been?
Drama? Which drama? That's kind of an open-ended question. And there's a lot of drama.
Will you be doing a pantry tour? Eventually, yeah. Yeah, I know that people who have a lot of snow are always like, here, you can have some of ours. But for those of us who do not get to experience a whole lot of snow, it is just a really enjoyable thing. I'm trying to get that little...
I think I'm just going to have to deal with the blinding light.
Yeah. Oh, she was talking about just from your video with the piglets, how dramatic you were. I forgot about that.
Oh, that was easily fixed.
Yeah, Miah has a little beacon of light over him. The kids are acting crazy. So what is up, guys? If you've got questions, put them in all caps, please. Hey, Matt the Vegan, what part of Arkansas are you in? A nice enough day in Humboldt County for me to mow my lawn. It was not a beautiful day here at all. It was gray and overcast, and it was pretty much cold all day. Hello, Rose. Oh, cool. Sweetie Madeline from Conway. Well, we're neighbors then. What growing zone are you? I'm in 7B. I'm in a little bit higher elevation here where I live, and so it's kind of I kind of lean towards 7A because I usually freeze before everybody else in 7B. Okay. Can you say hey, Toby?
Hi.
What kind of chickens would you recommend for starters? Really, any of the full-size breeds I think are good to start with. I don't know that there's one that's necessarily better than the other. I wouldn't start with Bantams or Silkies necessarily. I know some people love Silkies, but they can be slightly more fragile than the full-size breeds. But anything your Barred Rocks and red... Sorry, I saw my kid spinning in the chair, which he is not supposed to be doing, and got distracted. Rhode Island Reds and the leg bars are pretty good. That's a lighter weight full breed, but just any the big heritage breeds. Sherry, I'll make sure I tell him that you said hi whenever once he's back around. Yeah, mom life. I know. They always wait till there's a large audience and then they come in and do something crazy. Black Australorps are really good ones. Hey, Morgan. Is everybody seeing video? Somebody said they can't see video, but I don't see a lot. I think I'd have more complaints if that was everybody. Yeah, buff Orpingtons are good. Any of the Orpingtons are really good. They're super docile. However, I will tell you the meanest roosters I've ever had were Orpingtons, which is crazy because the sweetest hens I've ever had were Orpingtons. I don't think that the mean ones are a rule. Hey, Fleetwood Patch, what's up? What are some seeds you'll be starting next month for the coming season? Well, you want to see some seeds that I was going through today?
I've seen
I was literally sitting on the couch looking at all of these seeds right here. Talk about a few of them. Show us the seeds. I poked a hole in my basket. I did this earlier, and now I just did another one. So a few of the things. I ordered some flower seeds from Flora Flower Farms, and they just came in, and that's why I had this out, because I was adding them to it. I'm really excited about these Zinderella zinnias. They're like a really pretty zinnia. And these are all obviously flowers. And some Pro Cut White Light sunflowers. I'm excited for those. And then I also got this really pretty Texas Plume Vintage Rose Celosia, which I'm going to put in my cottage garden. So let's see. What do I have here? Gosh. Okay. So some of these, like here's a pack of Tanya's pink potted beans that were sent to me by a viewer. So these are like different seeds that some of these viewers sent in, and a lot of these I bought, and some are left over. But like here's some silver slicer cucumbers from Hudson Valley. Like this is one that I raved about through my garden tours all last year. And I tried to buy more last year, and y'all had bought all of them. So this year when they restocked them, I made sure to get some because I didn't do anything to keep mine from cross-pollinated last year, and I wanted to make sure I had some full ones. This is interesting. So I saw this company on Instagram, and I just bought a handful of seeds from them. It's called Snake River Seed Cooperative. Have you ever heard of them? I don't know them, but somebody shared something, and I followed their stuff, and they had the most clever names for their stuff. Like this is Drunken Woman Frizzy-Headed Lettuce. And this was an okra I hadn't heard of, Alice Elliott okra. And here, let me see. There was another one I got literally just because of the name, because I thought it was funny. Where is it? It was a tomato. I don't know where it is. It's called Orange is the New Black Creme tomato. And I just bought it because I was like, well done, Snake River Seed Company Cooperative. That was clever. I love a good, clever name. You're being quiet.
Yeah, I'm just reading.
The name of this company is Snake River Seed Cooperative. I just love learning about new seed companies. I just love seeds and gardens. Here's the one I'm excited about. I wasn't able to get this last year. Orchid Cream Nasturtiums from Baker Creek. You'll see how pretty those are. That was one I didn't get last year. Also ordered a few things from this. My cousin told me about this place. It's called Row 7, and they do specific breeding of hybrids for like marketing in restaurants. And it's really neat. And they have a few different things. And so a lot of these are like experimental, but like this is a center cut squash, which is, it says a new chapter for the heirloom tromboncino and an answer for the ho-hum zucchini. Young green squash were selected for their nutty flavor and meaty texture. So it's like a mix from the tromboncino from Row 7. I thought it was kind of neat. I got a couple things from there. A Tetra squash, 898 squash experimental, which is like a handheld butternut. And then Beauregard snow peas, which are supposed to be kind of frilly, and they're wavy, and they keep their pink, they're purple while they're cooked. You know, most purple vegetables, they lose their color when you cook them. So, you know, I got to try to grow some interesting things. Oh, here's another new thing from Baker Creek.
Oh, and my gardener's on.
Oh, what's up, man?
Woo, finally
Casper
catching
kale.
live.
Yeah, so I'm pretty excited about all the different
Rather you
things.
catch us live than catch us not alive.
One thing I'm excited about growing this year, which I got this as a recommendation from my friend Jill, and I'm gonna do this in my high tunnel, and this is it's called Grand Marshal. It's an F1 hybrid, and I ordered it from Johnny's. And I'm so not used to, like, I usually grow heirlooms for the most part, and F1 hybrid seeds are like expensive. Like, this was like $17 for this package of seeds, which I was like, dang, I've never paid that much for a package of seeds before. But I wanted to grow this year because Jill grew these, and it's a determinate tomato, so it only grows like a few feet tall. And it sets flowers in the heat. And so my idea with those is that I'm going to grow those in my high tunnel. That's going to be the tomato that I grow in my high tunnel. And I won't have to deal with super, super tall ones in the high tunnel. I'm just going to do it. So that's what Jill, oh, there's Whispering Willow Farm. She's on here. So, yeah, I feel like there's more pressure. Also, I mean, like, it takes more work to create hybrid seeds. It requires more like manpower to create those. That's why a lot of times they're more expensive, because you got to think, I mean, they've got to intentionally cross all of those. So it's just more of a job. That's why they usually cost more, especially buying them from a place that is not outsourcing that work to a third world country and having children do it. So 100 seeds in the packet for $17. That's expensive, but most people who are buying seeds like that are buying them for marketing, and so they're not just growing for pleasure, and so therefore that's where you get more of an investment as well. But hybrids are not all bad. Like, if anybody has that misconception, heirlooms are awesome, and there's a lot of benefits to heirlooms, but there are benefits to hybrids as well. It's a lot of times the flavor and stuff is really going to come down to how you grow it. So, yeah, I actually do have some Haas Tools seeds that I'm growing. Several of the things that I'm starting out in the greenhouse right now are Haas Tools. And right now, much of what is growing in the high tunnel right now is Haas Tools. Have you tried the honey nut squash? Luke, I have not successfully grown the honey nut squash, but I absolutely want to. I got some of those at Trader Joe's like a couple of years ago and went back and bought like 15, and we ate them. They were so stinking good. It's probably my favorite winter squash I've ever eaten. I have such a hard time growing squash. I'm like, especially winter squash. If it doesn't get done pretty quick, the squash bugs around here get very, 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 very brutal by about July. Oh, awesome, Jesse. Small homestead. Oh, we had some for Christmas for the first time, and my life was changed. They are amazing. If you guys haven't had honey nut squash, it's like a small butternut. It's handheld size. It's like a single personal size, and they're so sweet and so good. Oh man, just fantastic.
We have, someone said, what breed of goats do we have? Nubian, La Mancha, and until the end of this month, Nigerian dwarfs, but we're getting rid of them.
Yeah.
They gots to go.
Yeah, we actually decided to sell our Nigerian dwarves and focus more on our full-size breeds, just because, when you're milking a full-size goat and getting half a gallon, it's really hard to want to milk those little goats to get, a pint to a quart sometimes.
I can't milk
them. Yeah, he can't. His hands are too big. He has a really hard time trying to milk them.
It's the first time I came face-to-face with a meet the parent situation in real life.
You're off there, off to the side.
I'm just trying to keep my face out of the beam of light coming down.
Fleetwood Patch said we're growing a whole patch of honey nut this year. So stoked. How big do cosmos get in your experience? Mine grew 6 feet this year, and we'll give them more space this time if I can expect that from other varieties too. I've read 3 feet-ish. Rachel, I've never had them get 6 feet. Let me try to wipe this off. This is really blurry. May just be that way. Yeah, I've never had them get 6 feet before. That is unusual to me. But oh look, actually, I just wiped that, and now the light has shifted.
You can't wipe off the favor of the Lord.
My cosmos were probably like 3 or 4 feet. They were probably about like that. It gives an angelic glow. You know, we need to like actually set up a legit live stream situation. You would think we would do that, but here we are, just still. There's literally a checkbook balanced on top of our laptop right now to try to eliminate the glare. That's how
I don't
legit.
feel like the quality of the cameras is. I think the other one's better. This one looks blurry.
Well, I guess we're married to it now for this live stream, right?
Oh yeah, we're married to it now.
Matthew said that it looks like you're about to get beamed into the mothership.
We talked about doing is setting up our DSLR and running that as
but
the
we just
camera.
have to buy the cord for that. Like
yeah, I know.
when we're not live. Like we only think about this when
we just got to go buy the cord.
When we're live. We're like, oh yeah, we're gonna go live tonight in front of 1,000 people. We should probably do something about this, but
and I don't know, maybe some lamps or something, because the can lights are great for in the house, like living. The can lights do not seem to be very functional for
this kind of lighting.
What we're doing.
Yeah.
Maybe the DSLR would fix that, but.
Oh, can I grow vertically next to a wall? My space to grow is long and narrow on a trellis and tomatoes. Jessica, it's hard to say that for sure. Like, it might work just fine. I mean, light would be the main concern as long as you make sure that there's ample light for them. I don't think airflow would necessarily be a problem. I wouldn't block them in from the other side as well, but having one side up against the wall wouldn't be a problem. I mean, people grow in containers up against walls all the time. We have a ring light, and we tried that once, and it didn't seem to do anything different. So, like, are you supposed to put it in a certain spot? Like, we should probably just play with it in front of us. No, it goes in front of you. Underneath us. It was too front of us. It was too bright. You had it right here. Look how we have. I can touch the wall. I know, but here's the problem: is that like Jeremiah set up the ring light, and literally he's like, "Go live. Let's figure this out." It was like, let's not. We have not tallied up. What if we just did candles? That would be weird. Might be fun. Wouldn't be as glary. People would be like, "What have I just logged into?" What if we just get a bunch of ring lights and put them in all different directions? Who won the sweatshirt contest? We have not tallied that up yet, and actually, they're still for sale. Our pre-orders are open right now, by the way, for those of you who might not know that. Just with the septics situation and then everything else that's been going on, like we haven't really talked about it yet. No, yeah. Yeah, so we actually should set this up, but I'll put it on the list. And y'all can probably watch us on the same situation next week. Thank you, the local root. I'm so glad that you enjoy yours. So a lot of you guys are asking about like, how's this, how's that, like different things, like updates from the last couple weeks. We haven't done anything. Like we haven't set up the sawmill. We haven't built anything. We haven't done anything. Like we've been sick this week. And we fed our animals and our kids, and I wrote some stuff. That was really the update. I got the new stickers listed. Good job, Miah. I email people. Maya's makeup tutorial today. He literally puts lipstick on a pig. I would do that. Why not? Jeremiah is so over pigs right now, but they are all like contained and they haven't been able to bust out, which is good. Now we just got to sell the 8 of them. Wait, no, the 11 of them. Yeah, we have 3 more now. Mm-hmm. I fixed it. Don't move. Oh, how is it changing? How is that happening? Have you guys ever tried using self-watering trays? No, I've not done self-watering trays. My aunt has a really cool self-watering garden bed, which I think is really awesome. Murray McMurray Hatchery, you are right. Wintertime is downtime.
Except that sometimes happens and sometimes doesn't. Does it feel like downtime to you right now?
No, it's been a lot.
Leading up to Christmas and going through Christmas felt like pretty good downtime. And then the septic broke. And then, yeah, that was all crap. Literally. So since then, it's just been like not good.
Yeah. So,
how much do we sell the pigs for? If you guys are interested in any of those pigs before they get got, you can email us.
Yeah. I think they're $250. Is that right?
Yeah, I'm not going.
Yeah, Mangalites.
That's what I was saying. I just wasn't going to say that on there, but that's
good.
actually pretty.
We can tell
that's
them
pretty
before
cheap before, like for this breed.
Yeah,
it's not like you're not likely to find that breed for that much.
We have cut males and we have females available.
Yeah,
right now.
No breeding pairs. They're too closely related, anyways.
The ones that are left are too closely related for so.
What type of cable do we need? It's a special because Canon and just different brands. I always like to keep things proprietary because it just makes them feel cooler. It's like having a special charger for your Apple device and a different charger for your other Apple device, or it's just like that. So it's a special cord that only plugs into the Canon DSLR and then runs into a USB. So it's like not even that. Could be simple, but instead it's complicated. So I've got to go to like an actual camera store like B&H.
Well, we can just order it.
I got to make sure I'm getting the right one. It's complicated.
Kendra, no. Barry's Crazy Cherries do not taste the same as ground cherries. Barry's Crazy Cherries are very much like, they're just cherry tomatoes that are like yellow. So they're kind of on the sweeter side and mild, but they're a different thing than ground cherries. Where can I order seeds through the mail, like to have seeds mailed to you? There are lots of seed companies. There's Luke right there in my gardener. That's a great one. And they mail them. Yeah, like you can.
Now, the real question is that will MI Gardener have them delivered by owl? Because he kind of has this Harry Potter feel about him, like he could be the chosen one. He's got the glasses, he practices his spells in the mirror at night. Just, doing this thing, like, so does he deliver by owl? Would you pay more for that? The answer for us is yes. We would absolutely pay more to have MI Gardener seeds delivered by owl. Just saying. Honestly, I would order them one pack at a time and pay the extra shipping just to have 50 owls come and drop off seed packets. I'm just saying.
He said, I won't deliver by owl, but we are working on carrier pigeon.
Is that just because of the supply and demand of the owls? If there were more owls than pigeons per se, like would you entertain the owl idea? Or is this just because owls are harder to train? I thought owls were easier to train than pigeons.
Goldshell Farm said, I wish all things could be delivered by owl. Give it a canut each time that it comes. No, North Star Prep Center said no 10% discount for owl delivery.
No. It's a 25% upcharge. That packet of seeds is not cheap.
I'm not planning on selling any yarn, Deborah. I still haven't even mastered spinning it well. But no, I probably won't get into selling that. Here's the thing, like anything that we decide to sell, I have to be able to make enough of it to like sell it
No baby goats. Well. We shouldn't have baby goats until spring.
Well, we would have had that original breeding taken, but it didn't because they would have been due by the end of December. Is why they're asking.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No.
Yeah, no.
So does that mean that they're even pregnant?
Well, we put them back in with them, so we'll see.
Goat breeding is so confusing sometimes.
No, we've just had a hard time because of the issue that we were having with Lauren. But thanks, Luke. What about a home food preservation cookbook or book or a cookbook? Yeah, Steve, I don't know that I'm really ready to make either one of those, but there are some really great home preservation books out there. I still just feel like I'm learning on a lot of things. Laura, yes, asparagus is definitely worth the trouble to grow. Thank you for the super chat. The thing with asparagus is that you want to get it established like yesterday. So, I mean, the best time to like plant your asparagus bed was 3 years ago. And if you missed that window, like do it now. Truly, like getting asparagus in the ground, it takes a few years before you can really heavily harvest it, but it is worth it. I'm really wanting to give ginger a try. I bought plenty to crystallize and extra to sit around to sprout. Southern Ohio. Cherry Parfait, yeah, like if you... Fruition Seeds did a really cool like ginger class last year on how to sprout it inside. It's a little different for me because I am in a southern place. I have such a longer season. I just planted it outside and it did fine. But you might look her up and see, because she had like a video course about it, about how to start it and care for it inside to get it started early. But it's definitely great. I had a really good ginger harvest this year and really enjoyed it. Yes, the registration for the course is open until February the 15th. Yeah, Con, I do, I can do an introduction to my animals. They are, I can do an introduction to my animals. Y'all see them, different ones in the vlog at different times, but what tomatoes are you growing? Jack, I have not nailed down the exact list yet, but I will, and I'll let you know when I do.
Homestead Dreaming. What's up?
I love cucamelons, but have only 4-month growing season. Is it worth it?
If you
would
cucumbers.
Cucamelons. You would need to start them early if you were going to get much of a harvest in a 4-month growing season. And I have been told, and I don't do this, but I've been told that they actually produce like a tuber that you can dig up and replant the following year. And so that might give you a head start on them if you love them. Then, I mean, if you love them, they're worth trying, but I would figure out things like that to maybe get as much of a harvest as possible. But otherwise, if you don't have the tubers to dig up, I would definitely start them early and pot them even until you can put them in the ground. The thing with cucamelons is they're just really slow starting and then they explode. Well, Danny, we're glad to have you here with us. How are you, Kira? Skinner Farms, well, we are glad to have you with us here too. Welcome to our channel. I did the Ozark. What are our strawberries called? Ozark?
I don't remember.
Ozark something, Pam.
From Stark Brothers.
Yeah, that's what strawberries I have. And I did them I just put the plants in there.
Yeah.
Should I have a designated space for ginger? Pat, I mean, not necessarily like you're going to harvest it at the end of the year, like unless you live in an area that doesn't freeze, then yeah. I'm assuming that you're the same one who was asking about it earlier, but yeah, like you don't have to have a designated spot for it. You can even do it in a large pot. Yeah, it's Ozark Beauty. Thank you, Chelsea. Do you eat the Malabar spinach berries? They don't taste like anything at all. So there's really not any. I mean, they have anthocyanins and stuff. You can eat them. They're not going to make you sick or anything, but they're not like you're eating berries or fruit or have any sort of like benefit in that. So, yeah, they stain, like they have a really, really strong. Luke, no, I do not have figs. I have a couple of small fig trees, but they're not producing. So I'm not producing figs here. My sister-in-law has a massive fig tree, and I usually go and pick like an entire bushel out of her tree every year. But no, I don't have any here on my property. Have you started up homeschooling again? How's it going? We have not really started anything structured after Christmas just because everybody's been sick. But we'll get back into the groove of it. My big kids have started, but they're very self-led, but we haven't started with the little kids. That's a good question. A lot of the gardeners I follow are British gardeners, so a lot of what they follow doesn't quite work here. Does anyone have an American equivalent for horticultural grit? Does anybody have an answer for that? I've not received the copy of my book yet. They're having some delays because of COVID and manufacturing restrictions and stuff. So it's looking like everything is going to be delayed, and I'm just hoping that it's not delayed by much. They are supposed to be letting me know here soon. That's awesome, Melissa. Her husband is all about the garden, and she never thought she'd see the day. Have you started your seeds yet? No, I still have a lot of seeds to start this week. Hey, bud, what you looking for, bud? Your skateboard.
Why do you need your skateboard?
I just want to keep track of it.
It's out front. All the skateboards got left out front.
Oh, man. You gonna put your shoes on and go get it?
I need a flashlight.
Okay, we'll go find
There's
one.
a flashlight right there.
Horticulture Grit sounds like an amazing Western film about a gardener in the Wild West. Do you grow any medicinal plants? I do. I grow comfrey. I grow mint and calendula and chamomile and lots of culinary herbs that have the benefit of medicinal uses. I mean, a lot of things are dual purpose. I grow a lot of different herbs. I have used my new mug. Yeah, absolutely. Have you ever grown roselle? I did. I had a beautiful big roselle plant this year that set the calyxes, and I mean, it was like days away from harvesting when the first frost came and killed it. So I did not get to harvest roselle this year, but I'll start it earlier next year.
We have not had snow here at all.
We haven't. I was supposed
Oklahoma's getting hit. Tennessee, Kentucky, everywhere. It's getting snowed. Not Arkansas.
I've not dealt with an egg-bound chicken, Gabby. I'm so sorry. I know that's hard to deal with, but I have never had to deal with that. In all of my years of chickens, we've not ever had one be egg-bound. Has anyone ever tried green apple cucumbers? I have not tried green apple cucumbers. Maybe someone here has and can answer that question. Shadow, thank you for the super chat. Yeah, we definitely want to move. That is in our plan. We're actually looking at some places, and that is something that there is some movement on yet, but we're not actually sharing all of that information yet.
So what she's saying is that it has grass, and might have some trees, and there's some water, and it looks like a land. Looks like a land. Looks like a land.
So
yeah, but is it in this country or this state? Or yeah. It looks all like that. It's like a land. For anyone who knows what I'm referencing, you'll think it's funny. For everyone who's never seen Mad TV, you'll have no idea what I'm saying. Okay,
so here's an answer from M.I. Gardner. Green apple cucumbers are great, but super tough skin and produce boatloads, 100% boatloads. So there you go. That can be a major producer. And I guess the tough skin probably wouldn't be a big problem. You could always just peel them and cut them to pickle them or whatever. If that doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad thing for them to have tough skin.
Yes, someone finally got it. Mrs. Swan. Yeah, but was he tall? Was he short? Yeah, he tall, he short. Yeah, he looking like a man.
Goldshaw Farm, very funny. Everybody who knows me knows that there's no way I can move up to Narnia. I need my garden. I need my 200-day growing season.
Oh, yeah. So, you should have gone with something more believable.
Alexia, people know me. Alexia said Goldshaw Farms, Jess is too frost tender for that. I know that's the truth. Yeah, it is hard, Rose. And we've been looking for a while, and we haven't really been in the place to purchase. But we started seriously looking here recently, and we're actually taking some steps to move forward on the next step of the next chapter for us. And y'all are going to be seeing more of that soon. That's kind of something that we've been working on. So I can tell you that I think that we are looking at our move happening
2021.
Yeah, 2021. Like it probably towards the end of this year is what we're looking at. And that's what we're really hoping
we've set a
for.
goal. We said we're doing it, jumping off. So no matter what else happens this year, that's the plan.
No, we actually don't still have our quail. We gave our quail to Homestead Dreaming, who commented a few comments above yours, Maury. We shared ours with her because we did not want them anymore. I like quail, they just weren't right for us in this season. Laura Lee, any tips on in-ground beds? First time gardener here. I'll be digging these beds soon here in Central Washington. I have so many plans. The way that I do it personally, when I have done in-ground beds, is like a few months before I need that garden, I lay down like some cardboard and wet it really good, and then cover that in some compost, and then cover that in like straw and mulch it, and just leave it. And then in the spring, that a few months later, that cardboard will be broken down and the stuff underneath it dead. And that's how I've established my in-ground beds. And then on the next season, I just add more compost. The next season, add more compost. And that has worked really well for me because of my desire not to till. So that's personally what I did. But yeah, so we're not going to answer questions about the land and what we're planning on doing. We will tell you guys all of that.
Land.
Like the move that we're talking about, what we're looking for, where we're looking, all that stuff. We'll tell you guys about that at a later time. We have a lot of moving parts in our life, and obviously I know that like it's exciting to hear from it, but we have like family members and different people to also keep in the loop before we make.
We will definitely continue to do YouTube.
Yeah, absolutely.
Until YouTube shuts us down.
Yeah, I mean, we have no desire to stop doing YouTube. We love you guys, and getting to share with you is such a joy for us. It's incredible. Right now, I think it's more important than ever for people to be teaching what we're teaching, and also modeling family and equipping people to do what we're doing, and show how to do things, but also give people permission to say, hey, like whatever scale you're at, just start. I think it's really, really important.
I do not have a channel about woodworking. So
hopefully it will have better internet service. Ain't that the truth, Jack? I hope that as well. So
yeah, someone calls up and says, hey, we got 100 acres for you for $1. I'm like, what's the downside? No internet. Be like, move on to somebody else. Or satellite internet.
So yeah, I'm really excited about the prospect of some change. We actually have a lot of details worked out that we haven't shared yet. I will tell you guys that. There are a lot of things.
You could tell them about the one thing you did.
I don't know what you're talking about, but I don't want to decide in discussion. Like what?
It got wheels.
No, I don't want to talk about it.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying they're gonna figure it out eventually.
How much does a doeling sell for from y'all's farm? Well, this year we're
Depends.
probably.
If it's one that we like, $1 million. If it's one that we don't like, sometimes we'll just be like, "Can you come today?" And we'll give you a handshake. That has happened. One time, this family came to pick up some goats, and I convinced their son that they needed this other buck for his roping buck. And he said, "Man, thank you for that." That goat didn't last long on that property. He was like banging up cars, scratching up doors, but that kid sure did love that roping buck.
That escaping pig is very inexpensive right now. You're escaping pig. No, I mean, like, we don't register our goats. And so usually, I mean, I don't sell my kids for just my goat kids for just a whole lot.
I don't usually show my kids for a lot.
I mean, in the past, I've usually sold. Well, I don't like selling bottle babies either. I usually don't sell them until they're weaned, and then I usually sell the males for like $100, and then the females for between $150 to $200 once they're weaned. And that's non-registered prices for my area, but I don't know what all I'll be getting rid of this year. I'm not 100% sure. My book is not out yet. It comes out next month.
Yes, the table's going. We will not be taking the high tunnel. Whoever's getting this property is taking the high tunnel.
We just built all those raised beds underneath it, and so that would be just like
that's only part of it. I'm just telling you right now, like I assembled that thing. We beat the poles into the ground. In the process of doing that, me and Ben looked at each other and said, yeah, this one probably should stay here.
Would you plant beans in a pot? How big? You could, Mary. I mean, beans don't have super deep roots, and they only need about 4 or 5 to 6 inches between each plant, depending. I mean, I guess pole beans. So it depends on what kind of beans that you're growing, but you would just space them out 4 or 5 inches apart in the pot, and you could do that. I mean, I don't think you would get a ton of yield out of a pot of beans, but you could do it for green beans. I wouldn't try to do dried beans. That wouldn't be really enough to make it worth your time for that soil. Yes.
Yeah, Triple H, I'm telling you, especially up here, it's like rock, that's a rock.
Yeah.
Here's a rock.
It's hard. That's one thing.
I mean, honestly, we would probably break all of those posts, getting them out.
All of the fence netting, the electric fence netting that you move around, like all of ours are destroyed after using them for the last year or two.
We're going to have to get new sets of netting whenever we move.
Because all of the bottoms where you drive them into the ground are just bent all to heck. From rocks, because our ground is just rock. And it's funny because I say that all the time, but people will come over here and they're like, you are not kidding. Like it is rock here. And I'm like, yeah. And I think there are definitely areas in Arkansas that are not like that, but we are on a ridge and it is extremely rocky.
So we're looking at some green-eared chickens that someone's getting rid of. Any experience with them? I've never even heard of that.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
Maybe that was 3. A typo.
Are you going to try Back to Eden gardening? Carla, I was so gung-ho on Back to Eden gardening, and I have not been able to get wood chips out here to save my life. I cannot get anybody to bring wood chips, and I could go and we could rent a dump truck and go get the free mulch stuff from a place, but we would have to pay hundreds of dollars for the delivery with the dump truck, that I have not really wanted to spend hundreds of dollars on free mulch. So I've just not done that. If ever I am in a place where we can get piles of wood chips for free, I would love to try Back to Eden gardening, but it's just not working for us.
Technically we did a cheating Back to Eden gardening by bringing in super soil and piling it up and planting on top of it on the in-ground garden, because technically that's composted wood.
Yeah, I've done dig.
Right, so it's like an accelerated Back to Eden, because it's the same compost that you would build over the years of piling of wood chips, but we just can't get wood chips.
Yeah. Yeah, Jeff's bobblehead is really, really rocky. It's just how it is around here. For a lot of people, it's like that. And where we live particularly, our ground is so much clay and shale. I really watch a lot of Charles Downing Leeton. Y'all know something really funny? Yesterday, Benjamin wasn't feeling well, and he came and he got in my bed with me, and he said, Mom, can I watch Charles Downing? So we put it on the TV, and he sat there. He goes, Mom, I've been watching Charles Downing since I was 3 years old. You have. And he did. He has seen every single episode. He puts it on and he's like, oh, there's 2 new ones I haven't seen. And we put it on yesterday. He's like, Charles Downing grew a beard. Oh, okay, Luke. Yes. Araucanas, green-eared chickens. So they lay colorful eggs. Yeah. Now I don't have Araucanas, that particular breed. But I have Americanas, and they are blue egg layers So that's really cool. Yeah, they're definitely, Aracanas are supposed to be even sweeter. Americanas are kind of flighty, but Aracanas are supposed to be pretty sweet. But that's really awesome. I'm excited about you guys getting chickens. But yeah, Benjamin is so sweet, and he loves the garden. He still does. And I've been trying to be like really cautious to not overdo the camera on him in the garden. Because he started doing this thing lately where he like baby talks a little bit to the camera. And I'm like, hey man, you're so smart and you have so many great things to say, you know, like what's up with that? And I don't want my kids to feel any pressure to perform ever, with my, with the YouTube channel. And I certainly don't want the garden to be a point of performance for him. And so I've kind of been making a point to do some garden stuff with him with the camera not there, just to make sure that that stays an interest for him aside from videos. So yeah, we've been signed up for chip drop for a long time. We just live way out in the country. So
well, that's interesting to know. If they are true Aracanas, not our rumpless, which is a true Aracana,
yeah,
they have a lethal gene that a quarter of them die.
Wow, that's interesting.
Genetics.
Chicken genetics are really fascinating.
Yeah, she loves the genetics.
I do love learning about chicken genetics. Yeah, I think he'll outgrow it too, Heather. I think it's just a matter of like, you know, he's got to figure out this too. And this is the thing, like Benjamin has literally spent his entire life in the garden, like from when he was a tiny infant. I found this post on Instagram. I shared it recently. And Benjamin was like less than a year old. I'm talking like barely, he was probably right at a year old because he was walking. And it was probably about March or April because I had like peas growing and it was doing stuff like that. It was before the frost had ended. And he was outside. He was outside trying to climb the trellis and eating the dirt and all that stuff. And I had made this post about like how he was essentially being a hellion in the garden. And I was like, but I really want him to love the garden. And I think this is part of the process. And it's funny to me looking back on it now because he so loves the garden and he has 100% been raised in it. But he's also grown up on camera. And so it's something that I always try to be aware of with my kids, that that doesn't create something unhealthy in them. So all the things. Thank you so much. Greenwich Homestead. We did some pig chasing the other day, but no, the thing he was being so dramatic about with the pigs the other day was that our little ones are nursing off of the mamas. They're not anymore.
They're nursing off the wrong mamas.
Yeah.
So we moved the first 2 litters out because they needed to leave the other moms alone to let them recover. And then Jessica went back there a few days after I finally stopped chasing the pigs around. She's like, oh, well, I just saw Doris's kids nursing off of the other moms. And I was like, are you kidding me?
He was extremely dramatic about it.
It wasn't that hard to fix. I just convinced Fanny and Clem to follow me into that other yard. And that's where they've been hanging out by themselves, by the little lonesomes.
Yeah, that's the main thing is that we got to keep them, get them back up to weight because nursing really takes it out of them. So I want to show you guys these before we wrap it up tonight. We're not going to go super late tonight because I want to go back to bed. I really don't feel great. But in case you can't tell, I know our dazzling personalities.
I feel like that commercial from the late 90s. Do you have any skills or can you type on a computer? No, but I have a brilliant personality.
That's what I feel like right now. I feel like crap, but I have a brilliant personality.
We're putting on a good face.
All right, y'all want to see our new stickers? Do you want to tell them about the artist? She doesn't have any sort of like social.
Yeah, I put it on there.
Okay, so it's on the website.
ErinLow.com.
Okay, so Erin is actually
Dynamic is her Instagram.
She is actually the one who has created our last handful of t-shirts. She designs t-shirts for the company that we use, the local company that we use. So she is here. She is also an Arkansan. And we asked her if she would be interested in designing some stickers for us. So
I asked her for her take on Roots and Refuge because since she started working on our shirts, she actually watched the channel.
Yeah, so she started watching our channel when she started doing our t-shirt designs. And so we said, okay, well, will you give us your take on our channel? And so that's what we like to do. We like to ask our artists to do kind of their take. And so I think this is really cool. So of course we have the sunflower. I love that at this point, I think almost all of the artists have come up with the sunflower. Which
is why I had to name that one Sunflower Aaron. Because there's too many others. There was Sunflower Stitch and there was Sunflower.
Yes, and I love that because sunflowers to me are such a picture of regeneration, and I love that. And so they're a favorite of mine. I even have a tattoo of one on my arm. I can't show you because I have this shirt on. Coffee says Rise and Shine on it. A coffee pot. Definitely very Roots and Refuge
Jessica.
there. Let's see. I like all of these. I don't know which order to go in.
We'll go pickles next.
Okay, so we've got Pickled with Love. So that's really cute.
She's got all the seasonings floating at the bottom.
Yeah, I thought that was really, really good. Got a harvest basket, which I actually, okay, so this to me was kind of like a little bit of an inside thing. Because the Real Food Comes Dirty shirt is a dirty hand holding up carrots and beets, and these are washed in the basket. So I thought it was kind of cool that they're kind of a continuation. And then I love, these two are probably my favorite ones, so I'll show you at the same time. So we've got the books with the coffee on top. They say tomatoes, gardening, and in season. And then the colorful eggs, which I love that. So these are all available on our website, rootsandrefuge.com, under the shop tab. The way that our stickers work, for those of you who might be new here, we feature small business artists and different artists, and we have them design a limited edition run of stickers, and we put them up. We put up a new set every month. And when they're gone, they're gone. So like if you are interested in these designs, make sure you get them because they will not be indefinite in our shop.
Well, actually, there's only 500. And we've kind of figured out over the last few months, like, okay, where's our inventory need to be at to not be stuck with a bunch of extras to make sure everyone gets what they want. And this is about 100 less than what we sell over like a month and a half period because we're trying to narrow it down to like a month. We're going to try and run it for a month. Now, I will say that issue with running things on a schedule with creative people is that a lot of times schedules don't apply to them. So I'm not upset about it. I just have been having to adjust my expectations because you'll be like, hey, we need to get these done by this day. And they're like, sure thing. And I mean, like I said, being married to Jessica, sometimes things take longer.
Yeah.
So I don't want to infringe on the creative process, but we're doing our best to keep things within a 1 month period.
Yes. So,
but anyways, they're limited. When they're gone, they're gone. Like we've only got, I think it was like 30 something left of last month's, which they haven't even really been up for a full month yet because we started late in December. So,
yeah, we did our sticker grab bags at the end of last year, and that was really cool. And so we'll probably do something like that again at the end of this year with all the odds and ends, but that won't be a regular thing.
So like in November, we had someone asked if we had a sticker of a pig. We did have a sticker of a Mangalitsa pig, but it's gone now. And, that's not to say that there won't be another one at some point if the artist draws that, but then that was it.
Yeah, these are super cute. I really like them.
It's really her style. It fits with the other shirt stickers, shirt designs. I really like them.
I like this.
She designed them. It turned out pretty cool.
That's cool to me. Somebody asked about tattoo. We're about to wrap this up, but I don't know if you guys have ever noticed this, and I think it's funny because she did it in this. Okay, so on this tattoo, all of the eyes for this peacock point down, except for this one, which points up. And this circle and this eye, that black line with this eye filled in this way, it was the very first part of this entire tattoo that was done is that circle right there. And my brother did my tattoo, and he started and he did it upside down. And I literally watched him do it, and I was like, Drew, you just did that upside down. And he said, when you're doing a tattoo this big, you're bound to mess up on something, so we might as well get it over in the beginning. And so that is why that one eye points the opposite direction. And so I thought it was funny when I saw that picture that she actually got that right. Oh, Peter Nipple, what is up? I saw Amy comment.
Peter,
I saw Amy respond to him. Y'all, Peter Dipple is one of my oldest friends and was one of my dearest friends in high school for the longest time. And we actually, we had the most epic prom ever. So we had a friend group that went to prom, and Peter and I went to prom together, my junior year, his senior year. And what is like 8 or 10 of us, I think, that were going to prom that night. And it was super fun. And on the way in our rented limo, there was a tornado warning. We live in Arkansas. And so we actually, a leaky limo. The limo was leaking, and we went to dinner, and we were decked out. We're going to prom, and I have this massive poofy blue dress on, and we end up having to go and get into the basement of this fancy building downtown. And Toby, look, Goldshaw Farm right there. Noticed your shirt, Goldshaw Farm. This is his shirt. He sent that to you. So we had to go into the basement of this building and ride out a tornado that was coming over Little Rock during our prom. And so we spent it's hard to remember because obviously this has been like almost 20 years ago, but I think we were in the basement for like a good few hours. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that it was at least a few hours. And it was like the most epic prom ever because, when you get to a prom and like a bunch of people leave early and nobody dances and all of that stuff, well, everybody was forced to go into the basement. So like the whole school worth of people were all in the basement and nobody could leave. And it's this massive basement and all of these decorations that they use to decorate this place. So there's like these random big farm animal plastic things and like all the decorations for everything. And we had to hang out down there for like 3 hours and nobody could leave. And at first everybody was really scared, which I guess is kind of like bonding or whatever. But it ended up being that when everybody was released to go upstairs, nobody wanted to leave. Like nobody wanted to go anywhere. Like everybody had at that point was so excited to actually enjoy the prom, and the ice was all broken. And so it ended up being like the most epic like prom night ever, and it was super fun. I didn't even go to my senior prom actually because I was like, nothing's gonna beat that. It was truly very epic. So Amy said she's gonna share a prom dress picture in the Facebook. Do you have a prom dress picture? I don't even know if I have a picture of my junior prom dress. I'm sure my mother does. My mom has lots of pictures that I don't have anymore. So anyway, thank you guys for hanging out with us tonight.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Have a nice night.
Thank you, Toby. The other day we were shooting a video. Toby was like, I'm going inside. Thanks for hanging out with me for this video. I'll see you in the next video.
Goodbye.
All right, guys. Good night. We will talk to you guys later. We bless you guys until next time.
See ya.